Hello and welcome back to Romantic Renewal, your journey to lasting relationships with Sean Donovan and Mahesh Trivedi. And remember, if you haven't already, to click the subscriber and the bell icon to be notified of new videos. So the topic today is what's the real reason for your anger? In the discussion on anger, we learned that others' feelings are often hidden under the anger. Keeping feelings hidden takes energy away from the energy needed to have an intimate, passionate, and amazing relationship. In this lesson, we'll discover ways to unearth what's at the root of your anger and what you can do about it. So, Mahesh, people only think they've left home. What do we mean by that?
Yes, Sean, there are a couple of things which are very important to understand that this is just an example that you only thought you left home and you absorbed the beliefs and family patterns you unknowingly brought to your relationship. So, couple of things to remember. Number one is who did what jobs. Like people have a tendency to expect the woman to do what their mom did and the man to do what their father did. So it doesn't matter if one of the parents was absent, adult children form expectations of their partners based upon their parents. So another thing that if you and your partner are the same gender, you still carry expectations of the relationship based upon what happened in your family. Number two, what were the family customs and traditions? So people bring the familiarity of their traditions with them. And like your new family, as like a, you and your partner want to establish new traditions. And you may each want to bring some old traditions with you. Number three, important point to understand that each partner also brings with them negative or unhealthy beliefs and behavior patterns. So this may mean having unreasonable expectations, like you can't expect your partner to relate to you in the way one or both of your parents did. And at the same time, when a parental behavior pattern caused pain when you were a child, if your partner exhibits that pattern, the pain could surface, like it can trigger. So this leads to misinterpretations of what your partner said or did. So the important thing to understand is the average family had good times and not so good times. So be aware that both left an imprint upon you, which can be triggered by something your partner says or does. So the key to become aware of what triggers you.
And just as you carry imprints from your family, you also carry imprints from past relationships. So if you thought that relationship was over, you have another thing to learn. When a past partner exhibited the worst aspect of one of your parents, the imprint deepened. If one parent abandoned the family and your past partner abandoned you, You could form an expectation of abandonment. This can result in misinterpreting things your partner may want, such as a night out alone with friends. Mahesh, what are some tools and techniques for awareness?
Yeah, there are a couple of exercises are there, but before that, I'll just briefly talk about that. Discovering the source of emotional reactions requires a willingness to discover things hidden within you. You know, earlier we talked about what triggers you. So back to the Johari window, you would be enlarging the blocks which are currently hidden from you. You know, like I'm just referring Johari's window that you know about yourselves, other people don't know. You don't know, other people's know. You know, others know. And the fourth window was you don't know and others don't know. So those Johari window. So some of what you discover could be painful, but know that you can release that pain which was festering. Once you are aware of what is happening, you can make decisions on how to respond rather than reacting out of pain. So there are some discovery exercises. So some people prefer to do this type of self-discovery alone. So for this exercise, the old-fashioned way is best. You need paper and something to write with. The reason not to use a computer is because your brain responds differently when your hands move upon the paper and something happens which unlocks your subconscious mind more easily. So there are a couple of points I'm just going through. So please write your answers like a number one, list all the ways you are like each parent, like a similarity. If other family members raised you, use them for this exercise. So like a list things you like and don't like about yourself. List those things people have said, like you are just like your dad, even if you don't agree. Then next to each characteristic, jot a note as to how you see that in your relationship, like in your relationship with your partner. And then put a check mark next to the characteristics which you see in your partner. Now, another thing is that on separate sheets of paper, write the most common challenges in your relationship, like just one challenge per page. So let's have like on the page with each challenge, write out how your parents or primary caregiver would respond to the challenge. And are you and your partner acting as one of your parents would? And then second important point that also you make a note that what upsets you the most about the particular challenge you are currently having. So how is this similar to what happened in your family? You can always ask someone, like someone else, to assist you with this exercise. They will see things in you that you don't see. That is once again back to Johari window, like a you know, they don't know, you don't know, they know, you know, they know. You don't know, they don't know. So you can always ask someone else to assist you with this exercise. They will see the things in you that you don't see. That can be tough, but it will also be enlightening. So,
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the power of clearing exercises. So the clearing exercises assist you and your partner in understanding what is going on with each of you. You're sitting across from each other, having eye contact. Just as we did in reflective listening, one person speaks and the other listens. So Mahesh, give us some examples of these clearing exercises.
yes, Sean, although the clearing exercise are simple, it may take a few times to feel comfortable with the flow. But it's only basically the practice makes things better and confident. So the first thing is like the using the word called I feel. So this is where you take responsibility for your feelings. So an example is I feel hurt. Okay, so that helps to feel comfortable with the flow. It's like a letting it out. Number two is when you. So you clearly state the event in a clear and calm manner. So the the example is that when you did not remember to pick up my clothes at the cleaners. So the example is giving like a be specific. The third example is this reminds me of when. So what does this remind you of from your childhood? If you have difficulty with this, recall the incident you are remembering and ask yourself how old you felt when it happened. Once you have the age, recall what was happening in your family at that time. So the example is that these remind me of old promises my parents made and never kept. So use the clearing process as often as needed. Use reflective listening if your partner is not clear on what you said.
Just to reiterate what you were saying, Mahesh, the example of that clearing exercise altogether is I feel hurt when you didn't remember to pick up my clothes at the cleaners, and this reminds me of all the promises my parents made and never kept. So
Yes,
that would be an example.
yes.
Okay, so to summarize our lesson today, your reaction to things your partner says and does is almost always based upon the past. By using some reflection tools, you both can come to a better understanding of what is behind your reactions. In the next lesson, we will learn about relationship games people play unconsciously and how to stop playing them. But before you move on to the next lesson, please take a few minutes to reflect on what we've talked about earlier, do some of those exercises, maybe practice together. If you're doing this through the paid portal, there'll also be some reflection questions to assist you and some other download materials. So until the next lesson, remember to click that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when the next lesson drops, and we'll see you then.